I am in Ecuador. So I'm here on business and I have been itching to get on some fish. And I recently learned, I didn't come prepared, but I recently learned that there's like a ghost, a monster fish species that lives in canals near where I work on private property. And it's a fish I've been dreaming about for a long time. And I got permission to fish it. Unfortunately, I wasn't prepared at all, so I went out and I bought a $30 Chinese rod that's actually a conventional rod, and a nice spinning reel that I can bring back with me in an attempt to catch this fish. I have a few game plans, and it was really hard to get the equipment that I wanted here, so I made do with what I could get. My plan is to live line some tilapia and try to catch this guy. So this is some like real river monsters level stuff. I am going to be chasing after pretty much one of my top 10 species of all time. They're big, they're pretty, they're mean. I don't even know how to begin to go at it, but I went heavy. I'm going to show you guys how I decided to set up for something that I've never done before. I'm not finding any information on it because it's like not a common thing. And I'm just kind of making it up as I go. I'm following like a picture trail of which canals they could actually be in. I haven't seen one. Most of the employees haven't seen one either, but I'm gonna treat it as if they're there and do my best to try to catch one. Okay, so this is my beautiful little setup here. I bought a used, getting stuff down here is really hard, Spharos 6000. It's a Shimano reel, which I'm happy about because I love Shimano. I trust it, and then it's outfitted with 50-pound braid, and then I have this Chinese rod that I've never seen before, and before anyone says anything, it's a conventional rod. Yes, that is the only thing that I could find with enough backbone to make me think that it could handle an Arapaima, so Paiche from what they call them around here. My rig is a little bit complex, but I'm going to show you how I decided to go about it. So I wanted a long leader. Essentially what I did was I added a little bead here to act as a bobber stop, and then a large swivel, probably down 5 feet or so, a meter or so, a little over that, to just a liter of 80-pound fluorocarbon, to a small mustad hook. It's a strong one. I'm going to try to live line an entire tilapia because I think that's the best bet at catching one of these monsters if they are actually in the canals. So everything people have told me about it is that it is not a common thing. It's not something that's often targeted. But it's literally a dream fish of mine, so I dropped $300 on overpriced gear just to be able to make it happen. I can luckily bring most of the stuff back with me, but it's totally worth it. If people actually catch this, they pay thousands of dollars to go on like a remote trip to the Amazon basin. So I'm gonna go after this on my own accord. It's gonna be cool. Arapaima have quite a few unique adaptations to live where they do. In the Amazon River Basin, the water level oftentimes fluctuates, and the amount of dissolved oxygen follows suit. They actually have a modified swim bladder that allows them to breathe air. This does mean that they can be tracked quite easily. Every 20 to 25 minutes, they have to rise up to the surface to breathe air. And from what I heard, you have to put the bait right in front of them as they do. they like crabs?
Huh? Where you got that one?
Caught it.
Jaiba. Call it jaiba.
Jaiba.
Yeah. We don't call it crab, we call it jaiba. Crab is cangrejo.
Cangrejo. So there's a jaiba?
Jaiba, blue crab, you call it in the States, right?
Yeah. Okay, so I saw them. I saw the Arapaimas, but they were very stubborn. I didn't get a single strike. I think I was doing stuff wrong. I'm going to pitch directly at them with small live bait fish. This is my next attempt. I know it was an early activity window, so I got here extra early. I'm gonna try. I'm waiting on my friend here, the cast net, to help get me some bait, and hopefully I'll be able to pitch directly at the Arapaimas when they come up to breathe. Maybe just a little in front of them, hope they eat it, and we'll see where it goes from there. What do I need to do to get in the It's day 3 of me trying to catch these Arapaima. They are, without a doubt, the hardest fish I've ever targeted. I only say that because it's not like a difficulty of getting to the spot or the conditions lining up. It might be, but they're here. They just won't eat anything I presented to them. At the top, at the bottom. I hear that their favorite thing to eat is corvina, which is a weak fish, like a sea bass. And we used the cast net this morning. Couldn't catch any of those, but we caught a ton of tiny snook. So like robalo, it's a different species. They're little, but they have to be eating something. And if there are a lot of those here, then they must be eating those, I'm assuming. So I have a bucket full of tiny snook, and I'm gonna try my best to get a strike today. So I snagged on the bottom, I changed it up. I know they're surface oriented, so I made a really short leader under a float, and I'm letting one of those little snooks swim around. He's bobbing that little bobber up and down, but I'm waiting for the Arapaima to show up. They usually show up once the water starts clearing. So we'll hope, we'll see. It's such a challenge. Still stumped, it's hot. Continue to get no bites. I did find something pretty cool though. It's a feather from the spoonbill. It's very pink. It's pretty cool. It looks like a flamingo feather, but They don't have those down here, at least not that I've seen. They have lots of spoonbills, which are cooler looking birds. But I'm gonna keep this if I can. This being the best thing that happened to me today is not great. I have no idea what this is.
There's the leader. Don't push it too much. Forget the camera. Oh, there we go. Big one.